Hi, boys and girls. Have you ever heard of the word endangered? That's a long word. What do you think it means? If you listen carefully, you hear the word danger in the word endangered. And endangered means that these animals we see here in the pictures are in danger of becoming extinct. That's what the word endangered means, at serious risk of becoming extinct. Extinct means to no longer exist. That means it disappears and we never see it again on Earth. Some of the animals that are endangered are the blue whale, the gorilla, the Asian elephant, the seal, the Galapagos penguin, the tiger, the black rhino, orangutans, and my favorite, the polar bear. So we need to work together to help keep them safe so they won't become extinct and we'll have them around for a long time. In today's story, we're going to learn about an animal that used to be endangered, but was recently removed from the endangered list. Before we begin our story, let's review main idea and key details. Here we have a pizza. This is the entire text. And the entire text tells an entire story or gives complete information about a topic. Here we have a little slice from the whole story, and this little slice is the main idea. The main idea tells what the text is mostly about. Down here we have some of the toppings, and these are the key details. See how each one says key details? That's because they belong on top of the slice of pizza that belongs inside of the whole pie. And key details tell more about the main idea. Now let's listen to our story so that we can figure out what the main idea and key details are at the end. This week's story is called Panda Kindergarten by Joanne Ryder and photos by Dr. Catherine Feng. One panda cub is a sight to see. 2 panda cubs together is rare. But imagine seeing 16 young, giant pandas all at once. Meet a panda kindergarten class at the Wolong Natural Reserve in China, where pandas are protected, loved, and given great care. Each cub is born in a cozy room on a soft bed of straw. A newborn cub is fuzzy and pink. After a few weeks, it starts to look like its black and white mother. An ever so big mother panda carries her ever so tiny baby, holding it firmly but tenderly. She guides her new cub, which cannot see her, to rest on her broad, furry chest and drink her fresh milk. All the young cubs are watched over by their mothers and by kind, trained people. Pandas often have twins, but a mother can care for only one cub at a time. The other twin needs to be fed and kept healthy and protected in a nearby panda nursery. As the small bears grow, the skilled and helpful people and the mother panda swap cubs so each twin gets constant care and both share time with their mother. With such a loving team, each panda cub grows and grows. Slowly, its eyes open wide, and it begins to see its mother's furry face and other faces full of smiles. When the panda cubs are big enough to leave their nursery and their mothers, they are ready to have new adventures and to make new friends in panda kindergarten. Here comes the kindergartners. Look at them go. The young pandas have their own panda playground, full of places where cubs can swing and climb and play with their new friends. Pandas that play together may learn to be comfortable with each other. As cubs, and as adults. In their outdoor playground, the curious cubs learn exciting things about their world. They discover snow is cold and very slippery. Pandas always find new ways to play, like tugging and tearing and touching their toes. To a panda cub, almost anything can be a toy. Bolder and stronger, cubs try new things, climbing high and dangling until it's time for lunch in the panda kindergarten. With so much to do and so much to discover, lively little bears start feeling tired and sleepy. It's time for cubs to take a nap. The young pandas will be together in panda kindergarten for about a year. As they grow older, some will stay in their safe Wolong home and have cubs of their own. One day, some may be chosen to leave and live in the bamboo forests, in the tall, misty mountains nearby. Then the rare pandas born in Wolong would roam free and wild, able to use the skills they learned when they were small. Learning from each other and from the people who care for them, the pandas born in Wolong are on a special journey that gives hope to pandas everywhere and to all who love them. So this story tells us about the pandas and how they are taken care of and cared for at the Wolong Reserve in China. Here we have our chart with main idea and 2 key details. So what was the main idea of this story? Let's look at this picture. What is the man doing with the panda? He is taking care of it. So the main idea is that pandas are protected and cared for at the Wolong Reserve in China. That's what the whole story was about. But we had many little details in the story that helped to tell us about the main idea. Those details talked about how the pandas were taken care of, how they grew up, how they lived in the kindergarten, and what they did throughout the day. Let's look at this next picture, which is another key detail from the story. What's going on in this picture? Yes, cubs are born in a cozy room on a soft bed of straw. This is what happened at the beginning of the story, and it is one of the key details that help to support the main idea. Another key detail is seen in this picture. What's going on here? Yep, when pandas are big enough, they go to panda kindergarten. So they go to kindergarten just like you. This is the main idea, which tells what the whole story was about, like the big pizza we saw. And the little slice. The little slice was the main idea. The toppings on the slice were the key details, which are these 2. Can you think of other key details from the story? I'm sure you can. So go ahead and think of some of those because we're going to work with that later. Now let's take a look at our vocabulary words from the story. Our first word is reserve. Say that with me. Reserve. A reserve is an area that is put aside or separated from the rest of the people that live in society so that animals can live together and roam free without being a danger to us and without us being a danger to them. This is where they take care of the pandas, and there are many different kinds of reserves where animals are kept and taken care of. The next word is broad. And the word broad was used in the story to talk about the mother's chest. See how wide her chest is? You can see it in this picture here too. Her shoulders and her chest are very wide and broad. That is what the word broad meant in this story. Up here we have the word swap. And as you see, there are two girls here that are swapping or exchanging gifts. This girl is giving her the blue gift, and this girl is giving her the pink gift. Or is it the other way around? I guess we can't tell because they're swapping at the same time. Look at the next picture. Remember to say the word with me. Tugging. These two doggies are tugging at the toy. One dog is grabbing it on this side and the other is grabbing it on this side. And as they pull apart, they are tugging at the toy. So tugging means the same as pulling. Down here we have bamboo. And bamboo is a type of plant. In this story, they talked about how pandas eat bamboo. That's their favorite thing to eat. Bamboo grows as a plant, and when it dries out, their shoots are used for many different things. Up here we have this panda on the tree. But that's not what we're looking at in this picture. We're looking for the word misty. In the story, it talked about misty mountains. If you look here in the background, you see the mountains in Wolong. And what's up here? That's not a cloud. This is mist let off by the plants and the trees that grow on the mountain. Our last word is roam. And roam is another word for basically walking around. That's what this panda's doing here. He's roaming around the reserve or walking around the reserve. It's kind of like walking around and exploring. That's the end of our story for this week. I hope you enjoyed the story and that you learned something about endangered animals and how important it is to take care of them so that they'll be around a long time just like us. Now we're going to go to Seesaw and get started on our activity. Thanks for joining me again, and see you next time.